What's up, fight fans? This is Slim Olokpe with Slim Olokpe Boxing. So when George Foreman, the man with one of the most powerful punches in boxing history, reveals who he thinks are the toughest chin, the world listens. And surprisingly, it was not the legendary Muhammad Ali or even Joe Frazier who earned Foreman's respect for taking a punch. Instead, it was someone else who made Big George question the limits of his own power. George Foreman's name is synonymous with knockout power. He ended his career with an astonishing record, 76 wins with just 5 losses and a jaw-dropping 68 knockouts. From Joe Frazier to Ken Norton, some of the greatest boxers in history fell victim to Foreman's brutal strength. And at the age of 46, Foreman became the oldest world heavyweight champion ever, a record that still stands till today. But even with all the legends he faced and defeated, George Foreman has now revealed who he believes that had the best chin. Spoiler alert, it wasn't Muhammad Ali or George Frazier. It's not even Ken Norton. According to George Foreman, the boxer who had the toughest chin was not even a household name. It was George "Scrap Iron" Johnson, a fighter with a record that may not turn heads, but he had a reputation for taking hits from some of the boxing's best. George Foreman recalls his 1970 match against Johnson, and he said that he hit Johnson so much that it damaged his own hands in the fight. He said George Johnson had the best chin that he has ever come across. And coming from a man who has delivered some of the heaviest punches the sport has ever seen, this statement is definitely a massive compliment for George Johnson. The fight between George Foreman and Johnson was no ordinary match. 3 years before becoming world champion, George Foreman entered the ring with Johnson, a fighter who had already gone the distance with smoking Joe Frazier. And in the fight, George Foreman landed punch after punch, and each punch was strong enough to knock out any opponent. But George Johnson took them all, and even George Foreman himself couldn't believe it. George Foreman hit Johnson so many times that his hands were left damaged by the end of the fight. And with a laugh, George Foreman said that he still wasn't able to knock him out. So George Johnson may not have won the fight, but he clearly won Foreman's respect by showing a level of durability only few could match. And in an interview with Ring magazine, George Foreman shared that Johnson's resilience left a lasting impression on him. Despite Foreman's reputation for knockout power, he simply couldn't put Johnson away cleanly, and the fight was eventually stopped in the 7th round. But George Foreman did not really knock him out. So George Foreman reflected on the fight, saying that the fight was stopped and it was unfortunate for him that with everything he did to Johnson in that fight, he just couldn't knock him out cleanly. So to this day, Foreman considers Johnson's chin the toughest he has ever encountered. And considering the list of boxing icons Foreman has faced, that is no small statement for Johnson. And as if that was not even enough, George Foreman also revealed another jaw-dropping opinion. He said there is one fighter he believes that was even better than Muhammad Ali, but he refused to reveal the mystery fighter name just yet. And this has fans speculating that who could possibly surpass Ali in the eyes of a man who fought him in the iconic Rumble in the Jungle? Muhammad Ali's win over Foreman in Africa is one of the most legendary fights in boxing history. So if Foreman believes that someone is better than Ali, it is a massive statement. But as we wait to hear more, fans are left guessing who could possibly hold such a place in Foreman's mind. George "Scrap Iron" Johnson may not have become a world champion, but his resilience left a mark on one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. For fighters today, Johnson's story serves as a reminder that sometimes a strong chin and a fighting spirit can be just as memorable as a title belt. So George Foreman's respect for Johnson shows that even in a sport known for knockouts, there is still admiration for fighters who can take the hardest hits and keep standing. It is a quality that transcends wins and losses and remains unforgettable. So fight fans, what do you think about this statement from George Foreman? And who else in boxing history deserves a mention for their chin? And also, who do you think Foreman could be hinting at as a fighter even better than Ali? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.